What is going on, folks? I am Goat. Welcome back to Warframe. So, we got Citrine, we got the Steflos, and we got the Corufell that we're going to take a peek at. No, I don't have the extra helmet. I'm not worried about that horse shit right now. Colors are what the colors are. You can see that I've got a Tau Forged and a regular Crimson Shard on here. I kind of had to do some swapping around because I was really... I'll show you my first build, which is actually my configuration B. And like, I was talking with Joe about this while I was messing with this, and the config B build is like okay, but the config A build, I started dicking around with removing one of her abilities and really kind of trying to get away from my normal build style, right? So I used I used one arcane that I've only been using for Inaros, funny enough, and it's not even fully ranked up yet, but I needed ability strength, right? Like, after doing my first build with Citrine, I realized very quickly I needed ability strength. So this is my initial build. Obviously, preparation was not on there. That was specifically for ranking. Everything else was on here as it sits. Now, speed drift, one you never see me fucking use. And truth be told, and yes, I stuck a fucking Umbra Forma on here because I had Forma building and I was very impatient, and I stuck one of my Umbra Forma on there. I was not going to do two, trust me. Nor would I recommend that you put a fucking Umbra Forma on a brand fucking new frame, okay? That's a specifically, I wasted it on my own fucking accord. Please do not do the same. If anything, mod the Axilla slot. You'll see why. So, this was just the basic sense that I was going for, okay? I went for ability duration because you want it. As much energy as possible, which she's gonna get more, by the way. She's gonna get at least one Azure Shard, possibly two, and an Amber Shard for casting speed. I may go the other way around. I may do two Amber Shards for casting speed and one Azure Shard for energy. Haven't figured that out yet. Kind of figured it out as I go. So anyway, this was the original build, and this is kind of coming out of left field because I wasn't planning on shooting this until next week. But I had a really bad fucking day, so I decided, hey, you know what? Let's just do this. So yeah, so I went for an energy economy, range, moderate strength, decent duration, high health build, right? Because I was looking at her abilities, and basically you prime enemies for health drop and energy drop, very much like Varuna, with Lycus Hunt. Excuse me. But yeah, you do a tiny bit of slash and impact damage, staggers the enemies, gives a tiny bit of bleed proc, which does open up for like some toxin or viral or things like that. So that's good. But really the bread and butter of this is to basically mark enemies for health and energy drops. Second ability is pure damage reduction and health regen. Okay? Totally about that. So I was trying to find a good realm to do this with, and the more I looked at this ability, the more I realized I was going to need a lot of ability strength. Her third ability. This one is quirky as a motherfucker, okay? It's very functional, okay? This is not something that you have to subsume off because it is very functional, but it's got a quirk to it. Okay, so basically you throw a fucking gem out that kind of does a little float thing and then comes to a halt, and it attacks enemies with a pretty high status chance and a status duration, doing heat, cold, electric, and toxin. So it's doing all four of your base elements at 1800. And it's got a pretty good duration on it too. So it's big prismatic area. It's like this Aurora Borealis looking bullshit, or big rainbow. The problem is though, is it only affects enemies that you are attacking. Now that is not to say attacking with weapons. You can actually use it when you're casting your one. Okay, it actually does go after the enemies that you've hit with your one. But it's only one at a time. Like, one would think that this would be more kind of like an AoE encompassing if they're within the range kind of thing. Kind of like a Zaku's Gaze, you know? They walk in the area, they get attacked. Well, Zaku's Gaze, they walk in the area, they get armor stripped as long as you got the right build. It's whatever. But no, this is just a one at a time, and as long as your frame has line of sight, this fucking thing will attack. So it's cool to a point, and it does help prime enemies, but it's also semi-useless, right? And yes, I don't know why this is a thing, but everything's showing zero energy. It's normal. It's 25. I think it's 25. I want to say it's 25, 50, or 25, 25, 50, and 100, if I remember correctly. I don't know. It's whatever. It's the usual payout kind of thing. And then her fourth ability. Now, her fourth ability is very interesting. It is a screen clutter fucking magnet if you try to cast this son of a bitch looking forward, okay? The way I've been getting around it for the most part, because it does tend to chase enemies. So it can go up fucking stairs, it can just climb up to a balcony, it kind of does its own fucking thing. But it's a twofold thing, okay? You cast out this crystal, I'm gonna say line of sight or cone. I haven't really kind of sorted that out. I'm going to go with more of a cone because it does kind of go fan out a little bit if there's enemies in that direction. But as you can see in the animation there, these crystals pop out, kind of like Nihil, right? Kind of like back in the days of the Glassmaker. But here's the thing, like you see this really cool thing at the very bottom, a static 300% chance, 300 crit chance. So we're talking red crit range, baby. Big problem. You don't hit the crystal, you don't get that 300% crit chance. The 300% crit only applies to the crystal formation. Shooting the enemy in the foot will not give you 300%. Sorry, sucks. Now, the duration isn't very long. It's still over 13 and a half seconds with this build. Whatever, okay? And so, aside from the ranking preparation thing, the one thing that I honestly would have put in here that I did put on the other build, which I only have on I think 1 or 2 other frames, is prime sure-footed. Now I put preparation in the Axillus and I put energy siphon in here, not really grasping, and I never just changed energy siphon, but not really grasping the fact that you can actually armor strip if you do some silly shit with this. Now personally, her one I believe is her subsume, totally down with that. Kind of like a hunt, you know, it's kind of seems the way the game is going. So I thought about Varuna coupled with a different arcane, coupled with using prime sure-footed, because she can get very fucked up very quick if you don't have prime sure-footed on her. She's one of those frames that if she goes on the ground, she's probably gonna die. You gotta be damn careful with her. But I thought about what ability do I want to take off of her, and it's the third. Okay, as much as it's a cool primer, it does have the quirk of only attacking one enemy at a time as long as you're attacking it. And I don't, like, I want an ability to do its thing, not just sit there and wait for me to do something. So it's a little annoying, okay? But I also figured out Arcane Energized was absolutely not necessary, okay? Speed Drift is nice for casting speed, but it's only 15% casting speed, so it's not crazy great. And a bunch of health is not necessary. And a bunch of range, like a single stretch will do this job, okay? So you don't need Umbra Vitality, you don't need Naira's Hatred, you don't need Augur Reach, you don't need Speed Drift, you don't need Preparation, you definitely don't need Energy Siphon. So after dicking around for like a day and a half, I came up with this. Now, is this perfect? No. Here, let's just get out of this. That shit ain't in red. So is this perfect? No. But this has a couple of really cool attributes that kind of play off of everything else. And you can see I stuck Pillage on there. Okay? Now, normally, when I think of Pillage, I think of, you know, well, fuck, you're going to need a shit ton of ability strength to get a pure armor strip out of it. I mean a shit ton. Well, you run Corrosive Projection. Coupled with 292% ability strength. Okay, and you're damn close to 100% drain, which is armor reduction, or damage, shield and armor reduction, which is stripping. Hence, Molt Augmented. Now, the other one I did was Arcane Blessing, because obviously she's a bit of a squish build, and you're very much reliant on Equilibrium, like I did with Varuna. You're very much reliant on Equilibrium doing its job and collecting as much of the health orbs. So you're very reliant on this entire build as far as 1, 2, and 3. With Pillage. Now the 4 is just kind of one of those, if an Acolyte shows up to fuck your day up, yes, this does hit Acolytes. As long as you hit them early, as far as like violence. So yeah, that's the thing, right? This is a very much the first and second ability I really dig, because you've got, like, with this build, 146% orb drop chance. So basically you mark the enemy, you kill the enemy, and they have a 146% drop chance for health orbs and a 58% drop chance for energy orbs. Hence why you don't really need Arcane Energize, because basically you got over a 50% chance of getting an energy orb on every marked enemy. So you're using this ability a lot. The second ability, 90% damage reduction from the get, and then damage reduction per kill 8%, damage reduction assist or for kill assists is 4%. Pillage, you just saw, and then this motherfucker is just doing his thing. Okay? Yeah. Now, could I swap like Augur Secrets out for Augur Message? Yes, I could, to get that duration back that we really kind of, you know, we all love. You know, like you could do this. You could absolutely do this. Okay, 100% you could do this. Technically, okay, technically, if I can find the bitch. One more Forma, and you could drop Constitution, but with Prime Sure-Footed, there's no point. And it's only 4% more. Is it really going to make a difference? No. Personally, I like having the ability strength. That way I can armor strip motherfuckers quicker to kill things faster. So the only negative to running Augur Secrets on here is the fact that I do have sooner cast times, okay? Especially if I'm trying to like really kill shit. I only have a little over 12 seconds to kill stuff with the fourth ability. Now granted, it was only like 13.5 seconds initially with the other, so it's really not a game breaker. You're talking basically a second. But this is kind of what I've been leaning to. Now again, would I recommend doing an Umbra on this? No, I would not. It's what I had, okay? I sacrificed Forma so you don't have to. Because she comes with a Matter Eye, and she comes with a Vazarin, and obviously she comes with an Naramon for the Aura. Nothing slotted up here for schools. So 5 Forma is Naramon, 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 Matter Eye, Umbra. I would personally recommend doing the Vazarin up here, because truth be told, the big negative is obviously you don't really want to expend Forma so much. I have one more to speak of, thank God. But you don't really want to expend Forma. And see, like, this frame and an Aros both make me really want to go finish farming out Arcane Blessing now. Because that's, again, going to help. You'll see. But you don't want to expend Umbra Forma, especially on a new release frame. But I'm here to take one for the team, guys. Here to take one for the team. So then we got the Steflos. Now, the Steflos, this is a really weird son of a bitch. Okay, it has a god-awful range. It has an atrocious range. Even with Fatal Acceleration, it's 11.2 to 22.4. And yes, you will notice I'm using an off-suited. I'm just using the Naramon that was already there. Truth be told, if you really want to probably get the most bang for your buck out of this motherfucker, probably Galvanized Acceleration is probably going to be the way to go. Especially if you're running this thing with Citrine. Because if you pop criticals, you're going to get kills and you're going to increase the projectile speed. But if you, or stack up the projectile speed. But if you just want that base projectile speed, this will do the trick more than well enough. Okay. But this is definitely a status-based shotgun. Notice I'm 1 mark off from having a full, it only goes up to 79 with a max toxic barrage. It is what it is. Now I could have gone for like a radiation viral instead of a heat viral, but honestly, I just didn't want to do that. Okay, really didn't. Now I tested a crit build, as you see here. It's useless. It functions, but it's nowhere near as good in my opinion. This works great, especially in Citrine's hands. If you're trying to go for another frame, the crit build might actually play a little fun. But you'll need more Forma. Obviously, you will definitely need more Forma because you're using more base damage mods and more stuff like that. So you're going to want to kind of get jiggy with it. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to leave it on the crit build. And then we have the Corufell, the interesting, big, heavy scythe gunblade. Now, not quite finished with this one, but this is good enough for now. So as you can see, a mod I've literally never fucking used until now. This works, okay? This works to fit for the moment. It's got 3 Forma in it, no big deal. Uses obviously the same heavy size stance as the Hespar. But I personally went for heavy attack speed, okay? So like wind-up speed, critical damage with Amalgam Organ Shatter, heavy attack damage, which applies to the Gunblade or Power Slams, and then heavy attack wind-up speed, which I have found, at least from what I'm seeing, it does actually speed up the Gunblade function a little bit. so I'm okay with that. So I basically went for a pure heat, excuse me, because the physical attributes kind of do their thing, but like, you know, it's going to stack up in the sense of like heat, impact, puncture, then slash, because slash is the lowest. So you could bypass using one of the gladiators here and put a slash mod in its place to help bump the slash, them rookie numbers, get them rookie numbers up. But it works. It absolutely works. Now the whole key on the Steel Path side of this is that like the Corufell is very fun. Okay, it really is. 100% is. Am I going to use it for taking down an acolyte? I don't know, I can try. I mean, I'm either going to succeed or I'm going to die. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's just go to Ani. We'll just go play around. So we'll do our usual, we'll charge up energy and then we'll go start shit.
These foes deserve your respect. Honor them with quick deaths, and I with your victory.
Yes, I went for that purple geode look for her. Gold, blue, and purple. Why not? Oh, baby, give me energy. Breathe it for me. Pump that shit out. Come on. Let's get her dead, kid, right? Oh, one more pulse. One more pulse. Give it to Papa. Alright, let's get her dead.
Life support has been cut off.
Apparently my shit's doing a thing over here.
They're trying to choke you out. Hold on. I'm sending auxiliary life support.
It's a little slow, but it's a lot better than it is base, I can tell you that much. And having a bit of a speedboat on this thing actually is not terrible, by the way. I had one guy actually tell me, oh man, this Steflos is kind of trash, and I'm just sitting here thinking, okay. Kind of forgot to cast that.
Get ready for a capsule.
Why does everything have to reload like the Ultronauts now? Can you explain that to me? Hey, bro. See that screen clutter? That is some horse shit, man.
I life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
I did it again. Get off. See, but with Arcane Blessing, even only at rank 2, I'm up to 1,005 health. Equilibrium is just totally giving me the solid assist. With energy orbs. Hey guys. Really? See, now if he hits the ground,
prepare for life support.
it doesn't get near as bad. So you gotta be real careful with the firing here. Oh. Apparently the night wave was heat. Hey guys.
I've delivered another life support capsule.
What do you think, guys? I think it works. like here.
30-second warning.
Oh, of course, 30-second warning. Oh no, tampon's down.
Life support activated.
Oops, missed. So I get for continually forgetting to cast
Life
things.
support has been replenished.
Yeah,
Life
given
support
building
incoming.
like this, this thing's kind of a monstrosity, okay? And yeah, the gunblade, not terrible.
Another life support capsule is now available.
Of course, Malice. Yeah, big boy. Malice is dead.
The operative has just made their first discovery. Keep up the good work. Extraction is available if
Of course,
you need
immune enemies.
it. You are running out of time.
I'm
Consider
always running out of
extraction.
time. Haven't you figured that out yet? Look at all these fucking energy orbs, like, everywhere.
Life support on the way.
You fucking dead yet, you bastard?
Critical life support levels.
I
Extraction
know,
is your
critical
best
life
option.
support levels. It's crazy. Can I just get over here and pick these up? Let's see.
Additional
Can I
life
get here in
support
time?
has arrived.
Can we do it? I mean, like, we're more than happy to exit at this point, but I might as well actually, you know, hit a life support. That humming sound is I don't know about anybody else, but that fucking humming
Life
sound
support
is
has
fucking
been
annoying.
replenished.
Okay. That humming sound is ridiculously annoying. With her second ability. Oh my god. I mean, the payout's worth it. So, see, look, no armor.
Shadow. Extraction is ready.
This works very well, okay? The key is keeping up on casting the third ability and keeping, or the second ability and keeping up on casting the first ability, and then using
It is
pillage to
done.
basically armor strip the fuck out of everything while replenishing max overshields for the build, which puts you in the 1400 and change range.
Tenno. Prepare for life support.
But the Steflos, built in this particular way, is very fun. It seems like you would run out of ammo like a motherfucker with this thing because it only holds 36 rounds, but it has a pickup rate of 12 and only a mag size of 12. It just has a crappy reload.
Hey, kiddo.
You little cocksucker. Hey, Wally. Tilt your head at me, you little bastard. God almighty. So yeah, so the Steflos, okay? What do we think of the Steflos? I am enjoying the Steflos, surprisingly. I hate the reload. Okay, I truthfully hate the reload. But it is very good. It's not amazing, but it's very good. Can it be better? Yes. I mean, the fact that I've got 3 forma in it and I'm going to have to put a 4th in it just to get Toxic Barrage where I want it, and then obviously I want to test out Galvanized Acceleration instead of Fatal Acceleration, so I really do want to test that. So there's that. The Gunblade, the Corufell, in my personal opinion, is very much fun. Like you can see, this isn't even a finished build. Okay, and it's very fun. It's absolutely fun. The Gunblade side is obviously more fun, but it's nothing to scoff at. I think it's actually very fun. But Citrine. Citrine reminds me of, like, there have been, in my opinion, let's just look at this, okay? Because she's number 6 on my fucking list, by the way. Okay? There have been 4 good frame releases since I started playing. One of them had all sorts of fucking problems and then got fixed, which was Protea. Protea got released with the Deadlock Protocol right after I started playing. Well, not too long after I started playing the game, about 6 months into playing the game. Because that was back in, I want to say the fall of 2020, if I remember correctly. But there's been 2 really, really, really good frame releases since I started playing, and then 2 pretty damn decent frame releases. And then 2, in my opinion, like, well, we'll just cover it, okay? Like, solid utility frames, and one of them is like one of my favorite frames to play, but solid utility, like, all around encompassing enemy proc style frames. And then another one that is just a pure, this is my ground and you are not going to fuck with it because I will kill you with your own guns. I think everybody pretty much knows who I'm talking about at that point. In my opinion, since 2020, the 2 best frame releases without question are Protea and now Citrine at the moment. I could eat my words if they nerf or buff the fuck out of something on her. More likely to be a nerf. Hopefully they fix that fucking screen chatter mineral bullshit that goes on with her 4th ability, because that's one big complaint. If they buff her 3rd ability, oh my god, that would be so much better. If it starts to become like an encompassing area multi-target function, her 3rd ability is really good because it turns into a really great elemental primer. As it is right now, Pillage, in my opinion, works really good because you can just build her for a shit ton of ability strength, decent amount of range, decent amount of duration. Efficiency is not a problem because you can get energy orbs, as you saw in that mission. Like, up until the end of the mission when I was just dicking around, like, she's just a really good frame. She's just really good. But in my opinion, since 2020, Protea and Citrine, best 2 frame releases so far. Right behind them, funny enough, are 2 more recent frames, Steinix and Varuna, both of which have 2 shitty abilities, or have 1 shitty ability each. Funny enough, so does Protea, so does Citrine. Okay. Steinix, his 4th ability is, ever since they nerfed ability casting through that motherfucker and then not being able to get out of the animation of that, that's a problem. So the 4th ability is just a big fucking problem for him. And then Varuna's 4th ability, being ultimate, is anything but ultimate, which is fine because her other 3 abilities synergize very well together, and you can kind of stick whatever the fuck you want to over the 4th, which is great. And you've got 2 great utility frames, again, since 2020, that have released, Lavos and Zaku. Surprisingly, and notice where all these frames sit. Like, I underrated the shit out of Varuna because I thought she was just pure hype. And then building into her, oh my god, she's so much fun. I do play her, and as you can see, I've got the Kuvichakur for headshots, I've got the Tenant Spyrex for headshots, I've got the Glaive Prime for general melee OP, which you can also get headshots with the Glaive, which is funny as hell. Steinix. You know, I've got the Tombfinger, the Akimbo Furious Prime, and the Glaive Prime. The A Furious Prime, if you don't like calling it Akimbo, because Akimbo is dual wielding, but whatever. But Protea is a very good frame. She's not perfect for every scenario, but she is a great all-around utility frame, just in general. She likes to kill stuff, she likes to constantly build overshields, and she likes to basically fuck up anything with a heartbeat that isn't her friend. Kind of hard to get mad at that. And she's completely self-sustainable with a completely crappy 4th ability. So you can kind of stick whatever you want to over the 4th ability. Personally, I like using Silence because it keeps Eximus from stealing her energy or health draining her, or hitting her with Toxin or any of that crap. So in case something slips in through her other abilities, that Silence right there just shut them motherfuckers up. Lavos is a... I had Steflos on there because I was ranking it. Lavos is just one of those frames that he's a faction procer. Okay, so he's a pure weapon play tank frame that does factional proc damage to basically prime enemies to murder them with the guns. Okay, that's what he's meant to do. That's kind of my playstyle. Just be a walking tank, prime enemies and make them easy to kill. And then Zaku, he is so fucking ridiculously silly. Okay, basically you cast gaze on an enemy and then get fucked. Anything that walks in my area is now not going to have any armor, and you are going to fucking die because I'm going to steal all your guns, and then I'm going to blow my damn skin off to stop all the timers from my abilities. So literally all I have to do is worry about the 4th ability timer. Get fucked. Now you notice how Grendel rework, he's up there. Hildryn, I have been having a lot of fun with Hildryn, funny enough. And considering I think she's the next prime anyway, that's going to be quite interesting. Gauss is just an amazing Warframe. Gara, there's one y'all haven't seen in a hot minute. But yeah, we're going to have some talks about these frames coming up because, like, you know, 2020, late 2021 release for Revenant Prime. Haro Prime, I still say, stands up best against the Xmas rework. Steinix, absolutely epic for a 50th frame release. He's not the best frame, but he's fucking hilariously fun to play. Protea, 2020 release, very good. Citrine, just released, very good. And her weapons are actually surprisingly both pretty damn solid. You know, Varuna. How do you get mad at this? Her Seraphang sucks, but the Paragale's amazing. You know, the Grendel rework put him way up on the list for me. You know, Zaku, lots of playing around, finally got him figured out for my playstyle, you know, and so on. So, I mean, but to see a brand new release frame pop up to the number 6 spot in my frame list, that just tells you how much fun I've been having with her. Because I can tell you this, okay? The way my list goes is very, very simple to understand. So when you see my loadouts, this should kind of explain it for you, okay? So my top 11 frames are typically frames that I have fun running with a squad. Okay, I can also run solo without question. I've got them built to go either way. But these are typically the frames that I have the most fun with playing in a squad. Okay, my guys in the clan can tell you that, you know, like when I take Hildryn into arbitrations, I just get stupid with her. It's fucking hilarious. You know, when I take Gauss into fucking disruptions, it's fucking hilarious. I take Protea to mobile defenses, nothing survives. It's just fine. You know, and then I've got powerful but more solo play, okay, in these 4 right here. And then I've got 2 utility frames, so spy frame or something I need to get through very, very quickly, or if I want to run the index with him or Revenant, I'll do that. But it's just, he's more of a utility function frame for me. Octavia is my Steel Essence farmer, and then the entire fucking bottom row is nothing but Archon Hunt. Because as you can see, you know, number 18, AR, Archon. If it has an AR next to it, it is Archon. So if I want to solo the Archon and just sit there and screw around and take my sweet time, I've got the Avara build that I showed you guys in the video. Titania for the rescues or captures, Loki for that damn Jupiter spy, because personally, I think he is probably the best suited for that. Given there's so many ways to trigger that thing in so many bad ways. Loki is a nice little solo frame that you can take and just knock that little spy out. Korra is absolutely great for the interceptions. Wisp is great for the defense or mobile defense if it pops up. And then Neja is just the all-around utility, fuck you, I ain't dying today kind of frame. But folks, that has been Citrine, the Steflos, and the Corufell Heavy Scythe Gunblade. I hate the fucking drop tables. Like I said, in an upcoming video, you guys will see farming the mirror defense. And I can honestly say that the drop tables are like the polar opposite of the way Varuna's drop table for the survivals on Lua. I forget what they're called at the moment. Sure somebody's gonna be typing. The drop tables for Varuna actually weren't terrible, but the pity system kind of sucked because, granted, having a pity system was great. It was getting components like the somatic fibers. That was the one thing that was more annoying for farming Varuna than anything else. But the pity system kind of sucked because the only thing that you could use to buy was Luathrax Plasm. The pity system for Citrine is great because, like, as long as you've got a single Korra and you've got a single Titania, you will come out of a single rotation C run with 100 to 110 of each one of the fragments, okay? As long as you're just, the Titania is staying on top of it and the Cora is locking down the crystals, you can run Rotation C very simply. On the base star chart, 100 to 110, easy. Okay. Now, obviously, Steel Path pays higher. You get 7 per every 50 you get, and then you get 15 instead of 10 every half a rotation. So basically, when you have to go from Grineer to Corpus, you get 15. So the Steel Path obviously pays more, but it is also quite more of a headache when it comes to the acolytes coming in to fuck you up. So on a 2-man squad, if you're not fully prepped for dealing with an acolyte, just fucking, you know, something that can nuke an acolyte very quickly, then you might have a bad day with that. So it's fine, you know, just build accordingly if you're going to farm the Steel Path. But even on the regular star chart side, the farm for Citrine, honestly, focus on getting fragments, and whatever components you pick up are just gravy. Okay, they really are. They're just absolute gravy. Have a nice day. Do your job. Okay. So you pick up whatever the hell you pick up, and then you spend your fragments on what you need to spend them on to get the rest of the stuff to build her. Like, I'm already working on a subsume for this account, and I'm still farming her on the other account. But I'm focused on fragments because that's the easiest way to do it. Okay. My personal opinion. So are these worth doing? Absolutely they are. Oh god, I'm having quite a bit of fun. I will say this though, given the fact that she opens up slash procs and the fact that you know, she actually opens up a slash DOT bleed, I've actually not been running the Corufell with her. I have been running the Steflos, but I've not been running the Corufell with her. I've been running the TheSallaD because of the pure toxin proc that comes out of the because of the pure toxin proc that blasts out of the explosion. Boy, it kills motherfuckers. As long as they are afflicted by her first ability, this little bastard fucking just kills the shit out of them. So yeah, good stuff. We'll go over the arcanes at some point. The new arcanes are very interesting. There's one for the secondaries. It's very cool. Looks very cool anyway. Looks like it'd be very cool for something like the Epitaph or the Tenant Cyclone or the Kuvan Nuke or any, you know, high status, a Catabolist, any high status secondaries. There is one in there that looks very, very interesting. But this has been my build walkthrough of Citrine, the Steflos, and the TheSallaD. I don't know if I'm touching base close to what anybody else is doing, but because she's got a similar function like Varuna, you see me running Equilibrium again because it works so fucking well. You see me running Prime Sure-Footed because even with Arcane Blessing, if you get knocked on your ass on the Steel Path, there's a very good probability you're going to die. So you don't want to get knocked down. And then honestly, it just depends. Like, initially I was running Augur Message instead of Augur Secret, so I went with swapping out a Tau Forged off of my Wisp and stuck it on here, and I stuck a regular Crimson that I took off of Styanax, I want to say. And then, or no, I took it off of Titania, and then I realized Styanax didn't need his regular Crimson, so I stuck that back on Titania. But either way, yeah, that's been the entire goal, though, is just, you know, just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And this is, yeah, she's a lot of fun. Truthfully, though, I will say, why in the fuck, this was not the normal helmet. Okay? This helmet looks so much better than this ugly, floppy-eared, you know, thing. You got the little gem in her head, and then you got the true, like, this just looks like it meshes so much better than that. This looks like some kind of secondary helmet. I don't know, man. That's like my only complaint with her is that her third ability should be more of an AoE multi-target encompassing kind of thing, and that her primary helmet sucks. If that's all I got to complain about, job's a good one. Folks, thanks very much for watching. As always, we will catch you in the next one.